The United States is having difficulty getting the drugs it needs to kill condemned prisoners humanely, putting the death penalty under pressure. Companies don't want to be connected to it. Abolitionists are against the older ways of killing. Oklahoma has suspended the executions of a man who raped and murdered a woman and a man who raped and murdered a baby after the state was unable to answer their questions whether an untested combination of drugs sold as lethal would work as advertised.
Okay.
The Constitution says those to die have a right to know how, but more authorities are being secretive about supplies as traditional sources dry up. One crucial case was that of Dennis McGuire, who took more than 20 minutes to die last January. It's reported that he suffered. It was a first-time use of the drugs. Since 2011, European firms have refused to sell barbiturates to American prisons. McGuire raped and murdered 22-year-old Joy Stewart, who was 7 months pregnant in 1989. The last American company that made the anesthetic that was commonly used in the past ended production in 2011. States turned to a product used on animals, pentobarbital. But then the last European exporter, Danish, stopped. Death row inmates in the US have a constitutional protection from cruel and unusual punishment. In this cycle of experimentation, according to experts, several states, such as Texas, Missouri, and Oklahoma, have turned to pharmacies which customize small batches of drugs, a grey area. Critics' calls are increasing for a moratorium on capital punishment. The Supreme Court reinstated it in 1976. Since then, more than 1,300 people have been executed. More than 3,000 are waiting for it. The death penalty is still on the law books for use in 32 states and by the Army and federal government. Also still allowable by law in at least some of these are the methods of lethal injection, the electric chair, the gas chamber, hanging, and the firing squad. Tennessee is close to approving bringing back the chair, though the Death Penalty Information Center said this would probably be challenged on the grounds that electrocution by today's standards is unconstitutionally cruel compared with lethal injection.